Hi. I'm gonna try to do one more stream here. Looks like we are live on twitch.tv/scanlime, as well as the Scanlime-in-progress channel, and probably live.diode.zone. Yeah, live.diode.zone/scanlime works fine. Tuco is here on the desk. Hi. I guess he's slightly off camera. Well, can I fix that? I think I can fix that. Hi. Good morning. I think I need to turn a switch on. Be right back. I was just trying to turn on the camera. There we go. There's a little bit of onness happening. Slight amounts of onness. Additional onness. Hi. Oh, there's Tuco. Okay, so I think I might actually be saying that this is officially going to be the last stream in this space with Tuco Flyer, because I still have some uncertainty around the whole situation, which is part of what I wanted to rant about, but I really just need to accelerate the whole packing situation and just start throwing equipment in boxes. It's just too much to be trying to get work done and pack at the same time right now, unfortunately. Oh, gosh. So yeah, I don't know how long the stream is going to be. I mostly just wanted to hang out a little bit and say a proper goodbye to this space and this robot and everything else that's going to be different next time you see me. For anyone who hasn't been following the last couple of streams, I've been really busy the last couple months actually just trying to find a new home and to get ready to move into a new home. This place that I'm in right now, I know a lot of people like it. It's interesting looking, it's got a lot of nice light, it's impressive, whatever. But it's been just bad for my mental health and bad for my pocketbook. Pocketbook? Do people have those anymore? It's been expensive. And yeah, I don't know, I keep staying here longer than I kind of expected. It's always felt really temporary living here, which has been part of the problem. So I'm finally getting out of here, I hope, into a place that's somewhat less temporary. But it's all really stressful, and I haven't 100% locked in the new place yet. And the thing that I'm most stressed out about right now is I just got word yesterday from my current landlord that, well, I guess it's not going to be as easy to just stay here for another month as I thought it would be. My plan was to stay, keep paying rent here through January and have a bit of overlap to actually accomplish the move in January. My current lease agreement actually ends at the end of this month, and I had at least a verbal agreement that, oh yeah, I could just give 30 days notice at the beginning of next year and leave. But the terms they actually sent me yesterday seem to be specifically trying to prevent that, and so I don't know what's going on. I just walked down there to try to talk to someone at the landlord's office, and nobody is there that knows what's going on until this afternoon. And this was also very hurry up and wait, because I'd been waiting weeks for them to get back to me, and then they suddenly send me these terrible new terms, And they're also like, oh yeah, and we need a signature by tomorrow. Oh yeah, and we also don't just need your signature, but we need a signature from your former roommate. And like, that is entirely bullshit. So I'm gonna try to talk to them again this afternoon, but I'm gonna have to start assuming that I need to be able to be out of here by the end of the month, which is pretty soon, given how much stuff I've got to do here. So I'm starting to panic slightly. And yeah, I think I mostly just need to not even worry about video or streaming or anything and just start throwing equipment in boxes at this point. And yeah, the cat's complicated. The isopods are probably not too complicated. I think I can just take the isopods with me with the cat stuff. They just need to not be super cold, so I can't like leave them in the storage unit or anything. But yeah, so I need a storage unit. I was planning on just moving everything directly from here into my new house, which still doesn't completely feel real, but that's still the plan. If everything goes according to plan, I'm going to have a house, which is actually mine, to move into in January. But between when I have to be out of here and when I can actually move into the house, I'm going to have to do something. So that probably means a pet-friendly hotel for Tuco and me, and I guess the isopods, and a big storage unit for everything else. And I'm going to have to... So I was also planning on moving Diode Zone in a pretty orderly fashion, like maybe late-ish in January, be able to like get my data center set up at the new place and move everything in a nice orderly fashion. And I don't think I can do that either. I think I need to pretty much ASAP just pick a colo and ship the server to the colo and just have it live there for a while. Which is a little bit expensive, but not that bad, and certainly cheaper than paying rent here. Yeah, I mean, the storage unit and the colo are both way cheaper than rent at this place, so... And I wouldn't mind paying like an extra month or maybe 2 months here, but they, like the way that addendum to my lease was written, I would pretty much have to stay here for 6 full months afterwards, and they seem to really not want me to sublet it or anything, so... Yeah, I'm gonna try to talk to them this afternoon, but landlords suck. I just don't know what else to do. I need to get out of here. So, yeah, pile of boxes, pretty terrible. And so I need to pack everything up. I need to make a bunch of sooner and more concrete moving plans. I need to probably like overnight FedEx the server that runs Diode Zone. I also need to build a shipping crate for this art thing that's right over there. So... Tuco Flyer is still operating on 2 out of 4 winches, and the other working winch is still here on the desk, not connected to anything. Man, the hurry up and wait with the landlord sucks so much. It's like, they just didn't even get back to me for weeks and weeks, and then they're like, sign it tomorrow. I just can't even. And then, of course, the landlord is in this super posh new office. Like, they're mostly catering to giant commercial clients at this point. This is like a legacy building that they're trying to mostly use for commercial space, but it's got some of these live, work, artist lofts in it. Which of course they love to advertise. It's like, oh yeah, we have like artists working in our like reclaimed industrial space, whatever. But then of course, you know, when it's not just bullet points for their posh homepage, they don't actually want to take care of anybody. So yeah, oh gosh, there's some chat, but it's too small for me to read. Yeah, I don't even think it's like boilerplate landlord BS, because there is like a basic boilerplate year extension that they used the past. So this is I've been here 5 years, and they've sent me basically the same lease extension every year, where they raise the rent some and mostly don't change the terms. But it really looks like they went out of their way to make it more annoying this time around, and it's specifically stuff that gets in my way with my schedule and my move. So, yeah, so unless a miracle occurs with talking to my landlord this afternoon, I'm gonna just assume that I have to be out of here by the 31st. And yeah, I mean, I've been dreading this move for a long time. It's not gonna be fun, but you know, it'd be nice to have it over. Oh gosh, Tuco. Gosh, I'm also just so exhausted by having Tuco climbing around and all this stuff. Like, he knows that I used to keep bolts up there. Tuco. Yeah, he knows where the bolts used to be. Tuco. Dude. Honey. Yeah. Dude. Oh, honey. That doesn't look very safe. I think he's got it. I just worry about him climbing around on that wire stuff since it looks really easy to get a toe stuck in. Like, ugh, Tuco. But yeah, this landlord is pretty terrible. I definitely would not recommend them. I don't think anyone rents from this landlord because they like the landlord. I think they rent from this landlord because they own basically the entire town. And then, like, the landlord seems to be fairly transparently just waiting around until this building falls over. Like, they have all these other super modern buildings with all this high-price industrial and commercial space, and then this is their, like, 1920s legacy warehouse that I think they spend more on insurance than maintenance on this place. I'm still not running the computer vision right now, both because I have 2 winches down and because I'm using so much CPU right now to process isopod video. Which I might just have to just kill a bunch of those processes at some point. Just trying to save hard disk space by compressing video more. I just noticed a couple of questions from chat. There's, let's see, Drew was wondering what that arcade machine in the background is. It's a fairly strange machine. It's, so I don't know the names for the parts of arcade machines, but the title at the top and around the screen are WWF WrestleFest. It doesn't quite work, but I think that's the board that's in there too. It's got broken video, but it seems to be that game. But then there's actually different graphics behind the joysticks. So I think that cabinet was actually originally for some other game, and I don't recognize the graphics. It looks like it's from some like 70s cartoon or something that I didn't see. Tuco wants to play Bolt. We could just play Bolt with Tuco while we feel miserable about landlords for a while. Good job, boy. I can sort of kind of move the camera around. See if I can get a slightly more up angle. Or maybe down. I'm having the same problem I had day before yesterday where the winch upstairs is unplugged. going to be interesting getting used to all the ways that Tuco interacts with the new space. Good cat. Well, if this is going to be the last Tuco flower stream, I should go at least plug in that other winch. I'll be right back. I'd unplugged it to plug in a phone charger. Oh, this is not conveniently located. Awkward angle. Hey, Tuco. Trying to move it laterally, so I keep having to let out one winch and then let in the other winch, because automatic mode is not working with 2 winches. Kind of reminds me of trying to drive the winch before I wrote the code for automatic mode in the first place. There we go. Now I'm no longer in danger of hitting those poles. Tuco's on the other side of that. Honey. I thought he brought me a bolt. Oh, that's a good question. It's a question from Twitch chat about where I'm moving to. I haven't actually told folks exactly where, but it's pretty close by. It's kind of outside the Bay Area, but still in California. The gimbal blind spot continues to be in a awkward location. Yeah, I'm hoping 2020 is better. This year has been a bit much. not hit the monitor. I love the awkward angle Tuco gets when he's trying to groom his shoulder. Oh, Tuco. Wow, Tuco, why are you hiding that? It's got the cable protector on it. That means that it's not interesting anymore, right? Gosh. So I don't know exactly how much downtime to expect for Diode Zone. Assuming my landlord doesn't come through with some kind of miracle, and I have to send it to data center like I'm talking about, it would be, I'm guessing, a couple of days of downtime, because at the very least I would have to like overnight FedEx the server, they'd have to set it up at the data center, and I'd need to move the DNS over to a new IP address. So that seems like a couple days maybe. But I'd eventually want to move it probably back to my own premises, just so I don't have to keep paying for colocation. But I could do that at a bit more leisurely pace, since I don't think the colo is going to be that expensive. Place I was looking at, I think I could colo it for something like $89 a month, which would be nice. I don't know what Tuco likes about this spot. Another different angle. It is pretty awkward driving it manually. At least the sweater is nice. Did I mention it's cold here? I think I've mentioned it's cold. Oh yeah, no, if anybody's got questions, feel free to ask. Like, there's really nothing to derail at this point. Like, the thing that I need to do is just furiously pack stuff and or argue with my landlord, which isn't really something I can do on the stream, so I'm mostly just here to hang out a bit before I say goodbye for the rest of the year, so yeah. Yeah, it seemed like a good price for that colo. I was surprised to find something for under $100 a month. And that's like not a dedicated server, that's colocation, so it's all still my hardware, which is what I want because I already have the hardware. And yeah, it'll be pretty close to where I'm trying to move to, so if I need physical access to the server, I can like bike over there, but I could also probably do pretty much everything without physical access, which would be nice. Oh yeah, Tuco's awesome. I complain about him a bunch, and I have a hard time dealing with his demands a lot. But I mean, I love him. I think hopefully that's obvious. Oh yeah, okay. So I guess the question is, what is this orb thing? It is an art piece. I actually need to put it in a crate because I apparently sold it. I was planning on taking it apart and using the parts for something else, but yeah, someone managed to get my attention before I actually did that and offered to take it off my hands. So I need to make it movable, but then I can move it. Yeah, it's got a bunch of LEDs and speakers in it, basically. And sensors. Yeah, the temperature in here is pretty bad a lot of the time. It's all single pane windows and uninsulated concrete and drafty windows. So, and just like a lot of air volume. It does mean that it's pretty easy to keep the servers cool, but you know, I might just need an air conditioning unit for that in the new place. It's Tuco. Oh, there he is. Oh, ha ha ha. Okay, he's making me nervous because he often sits over there because he's chomping on cables, but I think he might just be enjoying the warm air. I think he was sitting in the server exhaust over there. Speaking of temperature. Whoa, cat. Whoa. No? Oh well, I guess I could, I don't know, talk about something specific. I could plug the art thing in for a sec. I had this running a bit on the last stream. Takes a sec for the Raspberry Pi to boot. I'm actually doing a video transcode on one of the computers I have in the closet to keep the isopods warm. Kind of feels like I should do some kind of Tuco flyer decommissioning ceremony or something. Fedora's wondering if I'll have a solution for the server noise. Yeah, I totally will, but that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the colocation. I do want to eventually have the server back in my own space, so the colocation is, I think, just a temporary solution. But yeah, no, I'm planning on having a separate recording studio space and server space in my new house. Ah, does it look chilly in here because of the color temperature or just because I'm wearing a sweater? Also, it's really hard to tell that the orb is floating because I've got that I've got that little, what do I even call that thing? It's not really like a base. I guess it's sort of like a foot. It's part of the packing situation for that thing, but it's not actually resting on that right now. It's actually just hanging from all those wires. I think I need to move that box. Now I'm hitting the gimbal angle limit. Oops. I got a bunch of video of this orb thing, but you know, it always feels like I should be getting more video before actually getting rid of a piece or something. Yeah, it totally floats. It's pretty heavy, so if I had a better way of lifting it, I could make it float higher. It was floating like 4 or 5 feet above the ground when it was installed at the gallery. There's another question, how did I build my server? Which one do you mean? I mean, I've got a few servers here. The one that's running Diode Zone it's like an old Opteron that I bought on eBay and refurbished by replacing some broken parts and then filled it with disks. Yeah, the camera setup is kind of nice. I mean, that was a whole big project we did on the stream a while ago, if anybody missed it. Yeah, this thing that's on the desk and that thing that's on the wall, there are 4 of those total that pull the camera around the shop. How's everyone's Tuesday? It is Tuesday, right? Oh, Tuco. No. Tuco, no. Of course, if there's a box with the lid off, he's going to find the cables that are in there and start trying to eat them. Oh, gosh. I'm gonna miss that train a little bit. I'll still get to ride the train. I just won't be living right next to it. Yeah, I do feel like I'm feeling just like personally a whole lot better than I was earlier this year, for better or for worse. I mean, I guess that's mostly better. I don't know that there's anything worse about that. But yeah, I mean, that's been good. I just feel like immediately preceding this, the housing stuff has been like pretty stressful. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, it seems like next year is probably going to be pretty alright. I don't know. Tuco. There's a suggestion to record the train sound and play back in the new location. I guess I could do that. I could go outside and get a proper field recording. There's like a pedestrian overpass right here. I was on that overpass when the train was actually blowing that whistle a while ago, and that was terrible. It's quite loud there. Hey. It does look like my idea for just running everything I can over Cat 5, Cat 6, and SDI will work out all right. Yeah, part of the reason the noise has been an issue here, besides it's just like one big concrete box where I can't isolate anything, I also just couldn't put the equipment that far away from the recording area because I had USB and video cables all over. But I'm trying to actually do a better job of having long signal runs that don't require USB and DisplayPort cables. So, yeah, video over HD-base-T seems to be working all right. Hey, Tuco. Yeah, I might need to actually box this stuff up. Turn this off. Meow. Hey. Cat boy. Meow. You want up? Yeah, I've mentioned before that I do plan on keeping that P.O. box for a while longer. I don't know if it'll be forever, but like it's not that hard to check it every so often, even not living in the city, so yeah, I mean, I'm planning on keeping that around for a little while longer at least. Oh gosh. I would be less stressed out about this if I just had everything kind of completely finalized. Like if I knew for sure what my landlord was going to do here, if I knew for sure that the new house was going to work out, that would be great. There's still the possibility that everything falls through and then I just don't have anywhere to live in January, but it doesn't seem like it's that likely. I mean, worst case, I can find a place to rent. I'm not going to end up homeless. It's just frustrating. you put it way over there, Tuco? Cat 5's all right, but I think I'm gonna be pretty into Cat 6 for this new place. I mean, individually shielded pairs, yes please. Did you leave another one over there? What a silly boy. Meow. Meow. This robot's more fun when I can move it in a full 3 dimensions. Oh, honey boy. Doing all the climbing. That's a weird question. I've never gotten that question before. Drew's wondering why I have spotlights pointing at the wall. I mean, it's a easy way of diffusing light without a lampshade. That's pretty much the entirety of it. Tuco. I don't want him in any of that. I just have such a hard time keeping Tuco out of stuff. Ah. Oh gosh. It stresses me out so much that, like, basically the inbox for stuff that needs to be packed is also Tuco's playground. Like, there is no separating those two categories of object here. Oh, Tuco. Ah. Oh, Tuco, what are you doing? He likes paracord. Yeah, I mean, I think I just need to quit the multitasking and to stop trying to both do stuff with physical objects and pack them, and to just work on packing them. Otherwise, like, it's just too overwhelming right now, and I don't even have that much time. I've got to really just, like, assume that my landlord is not going to be helpful at all, and then I'm going to have everything in storage by the end of the month. Is this any better from this camera? Not really. Oops. I think this camera is still unhelpful too. Yeah. Oh. I'd move the robot right just a little bit if I could, but I can't really move it in that direction right now. This would be a great cat hangout stream if I had a better camera angle. Love to fly my winches in manual mode. That's not much better, is it? Oops. That's better. There's another question about whether the train sound keeps me from sleeping. Not really. I'm mostly used to the train noises. Like, I don't really mind infrastructure noises for the most part. They don't really bother me. The place I'm moving to is going to have some of that also. Excuse me. Huh. Fedora's asking me about how I mentioned going fanless. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing that. It's just I'm not changing everything. I'm moving the equipment into a separate place from where I'm recording. So I'm not like buying all new equipment. I'm just taking my existing equipment and putting a bit more distance between it and the microphones. I mean, I'm sure I'll have some good feelings about this place after I leave, but I've also got a pretty realistic view of all the downsides. So like I'm certainly ready to go at this point. Hey, Took Took. No? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff in the rack I did specifically put together to be quiet. And it's not completely fanless by any means. There's a bunch of fans. I just tried to mostly make them slow 120 millimeter fans. But a lot of the noise right now is coming from the server machines. Everything's noisier right now than it usually is because I have it transcoding video. I've been trying to reduce my hard disk space and offsite storage needs by transcoding a bunch of my archived footage into H.265. Yeah, like with the moving out and wanting to transcode stuff while I have utilities included and all that, I haven't worried as much about the quietness here. Oh. Yeah, so the actual stuff in the recording area is probably just going to be like HD base T receivers, various converter and adapter doodads that don't have fans, USB audio interface, some fanless single board computers maybe, but I'll keep all the actual desktop machines and servers and stuff out of it. And then I also want to put in some like proper sound isolation. Don't know exactly what technique I'm going to use for that, but I've been trying to figure some of that out. And right now I have kind of sensible division of labor between those two racks. Like the big rack is mostly video stuff, and the little rack is network equipment. That's where Diode Zone lives, for example. And I think I'm going to redo that so that the big rack is going to be loud stuff, and the little rack is going to be fanless stuff. And then the big rack can go somewhere where the noise doesn't matter as much, like maybe in the corner of the garage. Somewhere where I will also have power and cooling though. And then the little rack can be like audio interface and adapters and stuff. And doesn't need the rack as much, but the enclosed rack is, I mean, the reason I have these fully enclosed racks is like 80% because of the cat. I could definitely have less enclosed equipment situations here if the cat wasn't going to get into everything. Tuco. Federer's wondering if I'm planning on doing cooking videos in addition to tech stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I say that I'm really burned out on tech, it's not so much that I want to, like, take up a completely brand new thing and just start doing a brand new thing on the channel. I mean, there might be some of that, but I mean, I feel like the direction I'm going in is more like, how do we make tech less bad, rather than just how do we avoid tech. So, I don't know. That's a whole big can of worms, though. Like, I don't know if I have energy to think about, like, future video projects right now, because I just want a place to live. I mean, like, this tech stuff is what I've been doing my entire life. It's what I know. I mean, I could do other things, but this is pretty much everything I've got. So, like, I mean, I feel like the thing that I have to offer, if anything, is, like, how do I go on that journey with you and find out how to do something less terrible with tech together. So, I mean, it's kind of like how, I mean, I don't want to just, like, completely leave everything. I want to be standing in a place that lets me kind of catch my breath a little bit, but still engage with the stuff that I want to, like, try to improve. So, you know, I'm not going to be one of those people who, like, wants to go live totally off the grid and then makes, like, a channel about that or something. That's, like, completely not what I'm into. I'm much more interested in trying to find a place to be where I can actually be part of my surroundings to a greater extent. So, and so, I mean, I don't know, like, I guess the art stuff, like, you could think of that as, like, a not technical whatever. And I certainly want to have more time to focus on, like, art projects, but, I mean, the art will probably still be about, like, the politics of technology. You know, I don't think it'll be, like, the art that I want to do is art that speaks from my experience, and my experience is in this, like, weird tech world, so that's what I'm going to be talking about, probably. Yeah, I mean, cooking's not bad. We could do some cooking. It'll be nice to have, like a dining area. I mean, my kitchen right now is not bad, but I just don't have anywhere to actually sit down and eat, which is annoying. Well, Tuco's chilled out a bit. Got knots in my stomach from all the housing, everything. What do you do with 3 working winches? You have 2 to hold the camera, and the third one is just dangling this cord. Oh gosh, I want to make some curried potatoes now. That would be tasty. Cook some delicious potatoes. Some potatoes and some onions and some garlics. I think a lot of the trouble I've had really feeling like this place is home is just like I've never really known how I'm gonna continue paying the rent here. It's always been like either I don't know, like theoretically if I was working a full-time software job, my salary would pay for the rent here. But I haven't really been able to do that in a while. I've tried, but like I keep kind of going back and forth between like different stages of tech burnout. And I've tried some other stuff, like, you know, it seemed like maybe this place would be great for running workshops because it's close enough to the San Francisco area that all the techie folks can come here after work or whatever. And I did a little bit of that, but it's a lot of things contributed to me just not wanting to do that anymore. I mean, at this point, it's mostly the feeling of not wanting to do stuff for a Bay Area audience specifically. Oh, that's cool. I just noticed Jenny's comment about wanting to set up the kitchen for streaming. Yeah, that would be cool. I want to try to have, like, I don't know, I've tried different ways of having a portable camera for streaming. Like I had that analog camera a while ago, and I was trying, you know, I've tried like streaming video from my phone to the streaming machine and stuff like that. I want to have a better solution for that. It might just be a long SDI cable, which is pretty much what I do currently. But if I had a way to, you know, at least maybe like give myself an SDI, an audio hookup in the living room or in the kitchen, so I could just like plug in there if I wanted to do a stream that was in that area. I mean, I guess some people would also just, instead of bringing the recording studio to the kitchen, bring the kitchen to the recording studio and bring like a induction cooker or something into the studio. I agree. Potato equals good. Yes, potatoes are awesome. Ooh, latkes. That would be great too. I haven't made fried stuff in a while, but that could be really tasty. I hear frying potatoes is usually a good idea. Yeah, usually I'm lazy and I'll just roast the potatoes, or I'll like parboil them and then throw them in with some curry or something. Oh, it'd be interesting to take a quick look inside that HD base T receiver that runs really hot. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what I'll find in there. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but there's like one silicon vendor that makes most of the HD base T stuff, and I think it has their chip in there. Oh, Tuco, please don't. Dude. Alright, I'll be right back. think Tuco's in the kitchen eating. Alright, well, I don't think I want to open any more additional cans of worms on this stream. It'd be fun to take a look at the HD base T receivers and do like a proper teardown, but I think this is the wrong time for that. That might just be one of the things to do after I get the new studio set up. So, it's cold. I guess I could actually zip up more completely. Zip my hair in the zipper. Anyway. Thanks for bearing with me while I try to turn my life back right side up a little bit. And yeah, I guess this is gonna be about the end of this particular stream, this particular location. And I'll see everybody next year in my new studio, sometime in January. As usual, I'll be on the social medias. You can follow Tuco and/or myself on Twitter. I'll be on Patreon. I'll try to actually post some updates about the progress of things, but yeah. I think right now I just need to like take a walk and work this knot out of my stomach, because I just feel bad about this whole situation right now. Yeah, and I've got to talk to my landlord this afternoon, which I'm not looking forward to. But I mean, worst case, I have to leave at the end of the month, which is what I'm already planning on. So, I mean, worst case, I don't have a place to move into, but I don't think that's going to be. That probably won't happen. If it does happen, well, I can find somewhere else to live. Anyway, yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you later. Happy hacking.